Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this session. My name is Isabel. I am an event planner for the Reactor, joining you live from Sydney, Australia. Now, before we begin this session, we have a quick housekeeping rules. We are committed to fostering a welcoming, inclusive, and supportive environment for both our audience and presenters. While we absolutely encourage engagement in the chat, please let's keep our comments respectful, professional, and constructive throughout the session. This session is being recorded and will be available to view on demand within 24 to 48 hours right here on the Microsoft Reactor YouTube channel. And if this is your first time attending a Microsoft Reactor session, please note that you must create a YouTube account in order to have access and interact with the chat. You can set up that now. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us on social media or through our website. Thank you all for joining us on this session called Data Factory in Microsoft Fabric, What's New and Roadmap. I am excited to introduce our fantastic speaker and will now be handing over the spotlight to our first speaker, Emily. Take it away, Emily.
Yeah, thank you, Isabel, for the introduction and the opening. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. I'm Emily Chen. I'm the Principal PM Manager of the Data Integration team of Microsoft. And today, I will going to share with you what's new and the roadmap on Fabric Data Factory. Together with me, our another speaker, Ye Xu, who is also our Principal Program Manager in the Data Integration team. And we will going through what's new and the roadmap together with you today. So, yeah, first of all, let me start by expressing our appreciations. So we are really grateful for all of you, our Fabric community. It is the communities that has built Fabric and continues to build it. So it is your voice and your success and even your challenges that drive us to create the product that we refine and iterate on week after week and month after month. So let me introduce you the Microsoft Fabric, which is the unified data platform for the AI transformation. You will see it is a one-stop shop for all about data. We have Data Factory for the data integration tool, and we have the analytics to help you to do the data insight. Of course, we have databases. And RTI is a star on our platform. And also we have Power BI, which help you to create the dashboard of your data. And underneath it, we will have OneLake behind in the bottom of the Fabric platform. And for the data governance, we integrated with Purview. And of course, AI is everywhere. So on Fabric, you can find the Copilot, and it is integrated with every workload. those Copilot is helping to make your work more productivity. So next, we are going to talk about what is about the data factory. So data factory in Fabric is built on the unification of Azure Data Factory. We call it ADF, our pro data integration capability in Azure, and Power Query, our self-service data preparation capabilities embedded into Power BI, Excel, Dynamics, and Power Platform. And so Fabric Data Factory offers both the low code and the pro code approaches to data integrations, and which is powered by AI through our copilots. And it is also integrated with open source data integration approaches, for example, like Apache Airflow and dbt. So let's look at how Data Factory support all major data integration critical capabilities. So in the left-hand side, you will see the Data Factory offer the best-in-class connectivities through the hundreds of connectors and the business-critical data sources, allowing the unhindered access to the data source no matter where they reside, on-prem, in the cloud, or behind the virtual net and firewalls. Also, Data Factory includes petabyte scale data movement that is built on Azure Data Factory's proven capabilities, so which is used to move hundreds of petabytes every month. And you will also see the orchestration, which is built on the ADF's industry leading capabilities of orchestrations, currently responsible for running tens of billions of orchestrations per month. And also, Data Factories includes transformation capabilities that build in industry-leading data preparation experience provided by Power Query. So that is now delivering transformation at enterprise scale through the Fabric compute engines. In the right-hand side, you will see the deployment and observabilities, which are built in to Data Factory and as part of the compute data management and integration platform. Of course, in the bottom, you will see that Data Factory is built on top of OneLake with AI built in. Okay, so in the middle, you will see the key capabilities of Data Factory. You will see in the data movement, we have the copy job and pipeline. And for the orchestration, and we have the pipeline and Apache Airflow to do the orchestration. And in the transformation, we have Dataflow Gen 2 and Notebook. So that is data movement, orchestration, and the transformations. And all are powered by AI. And so first, let's take a look at our best-in-class connectivities. So connectors are the lifeblood of any data integration platform. So we have continuously built up a huge array of business-critical connectors over the last 10 years. So Fabric Data Factory provides built-in support for over 117 data sources. Where connector doesn't exist in our platform, we have an SDK that enables developers to build connectors for third-party and customer line of business sources. Also, based on our customers' feedback, we are excited to add support for the Azure Keyboard, which is AKV, integrated in the Fabric Data Factory. So AKV will enable you to specify a reference to your AKV when creating a new connections and getting the secrets you need to connect a data source like Azure Storage. Another top customer ask is connecting to data sources that are behind a VNet or private network. So VNet gateway enables you to connect to those data source securely. So we are excited to share that we have added the VNet gateway support for pipelines, copy job, and data mirroring. Okay, so so we are so excited to share with you the connector roadmaps. So based on many of your feedback, we have been adding more connectors to data pipeline and data flow gen 2 and SAP, and which enable them to support the common authentications type, for example, like workspace identities. So what are available today, you can take a look at the connectors in the left-hand side. Like we have refreshed and updated connectors for data pipeline and data flow gen 2, and the SAP HANA connector is available today. And in the right-hand side, those are the connectors which are coming soon. So we are hearing your feedback and continues to making more connectors which can meet your business critical needs. So next we will talk about like data movement. We aim to make it really, really easy to move large volume of data, essentially taking care of performance, reliability, and scale. So Fabric includes the widely adopted petabyte scale copy capabilities in ADF, enabling customers to move massive volumes of data with ease and at low cost. So our connectors and gateways support the petabyte scale copy across a wide variety of data sources, including files, rational, non-circle, and more. But one of the things you will notice is that copy as an experience is somewhat buried in the orchestration concept of the pipeline. So today, we are making a dramatic leap in the overall experience of the copy concept, which will serve as a foundation for the future innovation on data movement for years to come. So copy job now is GA on Fabric. And so what's new in copy job? Like new connectors, you will see more than 20 connectors, including Oracle, Snowflake, SAP HANA, Google Cloud Storage, etc. And we also have the public API and the CI/CD supported. And it is also support the upsert to SQL database and override to the Fabric Lakehouse tables. And it is also has the enhanced usability and the monitoring, improve the edit of copy job, the search box, incremental column preview, and real-time in progress view, etc. And also, next we are going to show you a demo about the AKV VNet with pipeline and copy job. Let's see the demo.
The first feature I want to highlight is securely pulling secrets directly from an Azure key vault, making credential management seamless within Fabric. I've already set up a connection to my key vault, and my Azure Blob Storage connection requires an access key. Instead of hard coding it, I'll navigate to my configuration settings and click on the key button next to authentication. From here, I'll simply select my key vault reference and secret name, and that's it. Now we can easily manage sensitive credentials in Fabric. Now let's see how we can perform incremental data loads, allowing near real-time updates whenever there's a change. Let me show you how to enable incremental data loading with copy job. I have already created a new copy job, and I have some sales data on a SQL server behind a firewall, and I want to avoid full loads every time. I'll create a new connection to my SQL server. After entering the server name and connection name, you'll see that I have a field to select my VNet data gateway. Copy job now supports copying data behind a virtual network, so I'll go ahead and select my VNet data gateway, enter my authentication username and password, and proceed. After filling out the connection details, I'll select the database and tables I want to copy over. Then, for this example, I'll set the destination as another SQL database. For data movement, I'll choose incremental copy over batch by specifying the watermark column for each table. On the next screen, I'll see a summary, and I can also adjust the frequency of each run, and I'll change this to run every 5 minutes. Once we proceed, the copy job from my SQL server behind a firewall to the SQL database begins, with an initial snapshot of the tables copied in seconds. After that, only changes are transferred, saving both time and resources. For instance, if I go to my SQL server and insert a couple of rows to the customers table, only those 2 rows will be copied into the next run. And going back to my copy job, I can confirm that those 2 rows have been incrementally loaded in. If I want to edit the refresh rate, I can always go to settings and adjust the load rate at any time, and changes will be propagated over immediately.
Okay, so that's the demo of the latest. And the next, we are going to sharing with you the data movement roadmap. So besides the GA of the copy job, we make continuous progress on many areas across data movement. So this roadmap includes adding new connectors to copy job and enable you to leverage VNet gateway to secure connectors to different data sources. And in addition, we are making incredible progress across different areas for data movement. For example, like native change data capture, we call it CDC, support in copy job, and enable you to orchestrate copy job in using pipeline, and also adding variable library support and more. So you will see those new features in available today, and also those are the planned features which will coming soon. So stay tuned with us for the latest feature about the data movement. So next, next we are going to talk about the transformation. So for the transformation for data preparation, Power Query, which provide a self-service data integration for citizen and the business analysis and the Power users. So Power Query is natively built into Power BI Desktop, Microsoft Excel, Power Apps, and Dynamics 365. So this making it possible for our users to leverage data integration in the context of their day-to-day work without having to leave another tool to perform data preparation activities. So tens of millions of users using Power Query every month. And also, you will see our capability is AI-powered ETL. And Fabric also includes Dataflow, so which is built on the delightful user experience of Power Query, combined with the scale of Fabric's compute engine. So this enables users who are already very familiar with the Power Query to ingest, transform, and integrate vast amount of data through the self-service data preparation with the enterprise scale. And Dataflow are AI-powered with copilots, so supporting the use of generative AI to author and manage Dataflow. So we are very excited to announce that incremental fresh in Dataflow now is GA on Data Factory. So here is how the Dataflow Gen 2's enhancement, which is available today. You will see currently Dataflow Gen 2 is supported for the Git integration and CI/CD, and public API for automation, which will be coming soon, and multitasking user experience for the seamlessly auto workflow. And there is a enhancement to save mode. So you can use the save and run versus save, and support for the frequency-based schedule runs, and also out-of-the-box save Dataflow Gen 2 CI/CD to easily upgrade existing Dataflow Gen 2 and Dataflow Gen 1 artifacts. So next, we are going to show you a demo about Dataflow Gen 2 CI/CD, the general usability enhancement. Let's see the demo.
Here we are in our Contoso Outdoors workspace, where we have a task list set up to prep, transform, orchestrate, and visualize data. Let's start by creating a new data flow. And right away, you'll notice something new. This workspace is integrated with folders, making it easier to organize and navigate Data Factory items. Source control is also enabled, and we'll see that in action shortly. Let's click New and create a Dataflows Gen 2 item. Right away, we can see that this data flow will have Git integration enabled and support parameterized invocation via public APIs. Let's give it a name and hit Create. Now, inside the Dataflows editor, we've introduced a few enhancements to improve the transformation experience. First, a streamlined toolbar. We've reduced it to a single line for a cleaner, more focused workspace. If you prefer the previous view, you can always toggle the ribbon back. Second, a Save As button, one of the top requests from our community. You can now save a data flow with automatically publishing or refreshing the data behind the scenes. And third, multitasking support. You can now open multiple items at the same time. When I open an item, a tab is pinned to the left navigation bar, so I can switch between my workspace and other resources, like querying my Contoso Outdoor SQL database without losing my place. So let's skip ahead, and you'll see that we've already brought in some tables and applied transformations. Now let's save our data flow to the workspace. Since Git integration is enabled, we can see the newly created data flow is marked as uncommitted. By clicking source control, we can view what's changed, add a commit message, and hit commit. Within seconds, our changes are committed and everything is up to date. If I navigate to my DevOps environment, you'll see individualized folders for each of the items. If I navigate to the new data flow that I just created and synced, you'll see all the relevant mashup and metadata files here. Now that I've synced our data, we have the option to refresh it directly from here. But now we've integrated the new schedule experience. Just like pipelines, I can now schedule to run this data flow every few minutes, every hour, daily, etc. And I could give it granular controls like the frequency of refreshes and start and end times as well, all integrated in a unified experience. The last feature I want to show you is how we can enable users to easily save an existing Dataflows Gen 1 as a Gen 2 native data flow. We have a new Save As experience that enables easy migration, all with just a couple of clicks. All I have to do is go to my Dataflow Gen 1 that I have in my workspace, and then I'll see an option called Save As Dataflow Gen 2. You can optionally provide it a name, and then we'll hit Create. Soon you'll see a new Dataflow Gen 2 native item created based on the copy of the queries from the Gen 1 data flow. Returning to the workspace, we can now see two data flows, the original Gen 1 data flow and the new Gen 2 data flow.
Okay, that's the demo. Next, we are going to sharing with you the transformation roadmap. So it is an incredible set of innovations happening in Dataflow Gen 2. So as we bring the incremental refresh to GA, added the support for the parameters in the Dataflow Gen 2, and enable you to save your Gen 1 data flows as Gen 2 data flow. So we continue to work on many other improvements on Dataflow Gen 2 in the next few months. So some of the highlights include Dataflow Gen 2 APIs with SPN support, enabling Copilot for Data Factory to support new Copilot skill and capabilities, from helping you drive actionable outcomes with error messages assistant to bring the Copilot experience into Get Data. So next, we are going to talk about the orchestration. So for the orchestration, I will hand over to my another speaker here today.
Yeah, thanks, Emily. So next, I'm gonna take over this section to talk about the rest of the experiment in the Fabric Data Factory. So let's start from the orchestration aspect. So we all know that the orchestration capability provided by the Data Factory in Fabric enables have a kind of two different parts. Right? One is the pipeline, another is the Apache Airflow. So, and another thing I want to share is that in total, the orchestration capability provided by the Data Factory have already enabled billion of the run for every single month. So that is a huge number. So, okay, the next, let's start from the pipeline in the next slide. Yes, pipeline in Data Factory will now provide no code intuitive experience to orchestrate data movement, data transformation, data cleansing, control flow by the different activity in a pipeline, right? So customers use pipeline normally for building, for example, the metadata-driven pipeline. They can leverage a rich set of activity together with a different type of the trigger to achieve the data delivery style for a wide range of scenario. For example, if you are user customer for using a pipeline, you can set up a scenario like once the data is landed in your data lake, you want to trigger a pipeline to consume that, right? So, and the pipeline is also Copilot enabled. We know that same as all the other services in Data Factory, make it easy to build and debug the data orchestration. On the next slide, you're gonna see another service for data orchestration in Data Factory beyond the pipeline. So if you prefer code-first experience, so Data Factory now provides you a native support for Apache Airflow for data orchestration, so that you can enjoy the serverless approach, with automatically scaling option. Do not need to worry about creating or managing the Airflow cluster, but just enjoying the coding on your orchestration logic in Apache Airflow for your DAG. So for the next slide, we are so glad to announce that the Airflow job in Fabric has been GA. So you can feel free to use Airflow job in Fabric in your production environment now. For the next slide, I'm going to list a few new exciting feature in the orchestration area. This is the first one, right? So we are now support parameter in both Dataflow Gen 2 and pipeline. So it has been a while that we hear a lot of customers ask, hey, how they can build a metadata-driven data integration by parameterizing the setting within a single pipeline and Dataflow Gen 2. So with those capabilities, now you can pass a set of the parameter value during the running time, allowing the pipeline and the Dataflow Gen 2 to execute dynamically based on those parameters. So that means you can now use the parameter to control the behavior of your pipeline and the Dataflow Gen 2 in a flexible and a reusable way. So next, I'm going to show you a demo about, hey, what's the parameter support look like in the Dataflow and the pipeline. Let's play it.
Handling different inputs, and I can use parameterization to make my workflows fully flexible. I've created a parameter in my pipeline that references my SQL database connection. And going into my copy activity, I can create a dynamic connection that references that same parameter. No more static connections, and I can parameterize them effortlessly. If I open the expression builder, I can simply select my predefined parameter, and just like that, my connections are dynamic and easily configurable. Next, I've integrated a Dataflow activity to handle transformations. Let's open it up and see how parameterization makes it even more powerful. In this Dataflow, I'm transforming products orders data by grouping orders by region. My goal is to create a table in OneLake for each region. Instead of hard-coding regions, I can make this dynamic using parameters. I've defined a region parameter which dynamically filters data by the region. The default value is Eastern, so my query currently filters for Eastern orders. When I use this parameter in my orders by region query, the filter icon indicates that the query dynamically adjusts based on the input. Since my destination is a SQL database, region-specific tables automatically appear there. Let's hit save and see how we can leverage this new parameter from within a pipeline. If I go back to my pipeline and configure my Dataflow activity, I can see that after selecting my Dataflow, I have a new section to input the parameters. Here, I can input my region parameter, and I'll use the expression builder to give it a parameterized value from the get metadata activity. Inside my for each loop, this pipeline will iterate over each region dynamically, processing orders from Eastern, Northern, Southern, and Western regions. Skipping ahead, you can see my pipeline has run successfully. Checking the output, we can see that each region's data was processed separately. First activity, the region is Eastern, second is Southern, and another one is Northern. If I head to my database, I'll see 4 separate tables corresponding to products orders for each region for my tables.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching the demo. Next, this is another exciting update around variable library in Fabric. So since variable library is now supported by many different workloads in Fabric. And one of the important workloads is the pipeline data factory. So now, given that the pipeline in Data Factory support variable library, which allow you to change the value dynamically when the pipeline was promoted from your dev to test to production environment in a CI/CD scenario instead of replacing the hard code before. So let's enjoy the demos to see how it works.
Production environments, I need a way to automatically adjust values based on the workspace I'm working with. Hard-coded settings won't cut it, and this is where variable libraries come in. Now I can define global variables that dynamically adjust based on my environment. Let's see how this works. I've already created my variable library here, and I've created 4 variables that I've defined values to across my different environments. Right now, my dev stage is active as a default stage, but I can easily switch to test or production as needed. Now, let's see how these variables work inside a data pipeline. In the pipeline editor, I have a new section for library variables. Here, I created a reference by defining a name, selecting my variable library, choosing a variable, and specifying its type. I've referenced all my key variables, making them instantly available for my pipeline configurations. I'll go ahead and dynamically reference them in my connection paths, ensuring that it dynamically updates for each environment. Now, let's save and run this pipeline. Skipping ahead, you can see that my output automatically reflects the dev stage values. The folder is correctly set to Contoso Dev, confirming that my variable library is working perfectly. Now, let's see this in action within a CI/CD pipeline. Going back to my deployment pipeline, I have 3 stages: development, test, and production. Let's deploy all my items from dev to test, and you'll notice that my variable library and pipeline are now available in the test environment. Here's where the magic happens. I'll open my variable library in the test environment and activate the test value set in my variable library. Now, without modifying my pipeline at all, when I go run my pipeline, which I've already done here, the file path automatically updates to the test environments folder, Contoso test and file path. This means no more manual updates when moving between environments. Variable libraries make CI/CD deployments truly seamless and scalable, creating powerful end-to-end data solutions.
Yeah, thank you for watching the demo. So in the next page, this is actually the last page on the orchestration area to show you the major item in our roadmap, where you can see many of them have already been available and others will be coming soon. We can see some big stuff which have been available, including the pipeline trigger and the Apache Airflow has become GA. We have grown the number of the activities supported in a single pipeline from 40 to 80, and now it become 120. So it's a big jump. And another thing, SSIS is also enabled now in Fabric by the SSIS activity in pipeline. So far, it's still in a private preview. Do reach out if you have interest to try that. And we also continually pushing the integration with many different parts in the Fabric, including the data function. It's also now become another new type of activity in pipeline. So in terms of what is coming soon, we are actively listening to your feedback, whether through ideas, through the community forum, to the conference call, and translate into our product roadmap. You can see the list there. So many of your suggestions, they are now in progress and will be available in the coming months. So next, we're gonna switch to another topic to talk about unifying data in OneLake. So in the story of unifying data in OneLake across multiple cloud scenarios, there are 2 major features in Microsoft Fabric to help you. One is the shortcut to help to get access on your data to storage-based store from Fabric without any data movement. So it allows you to get access to your data across multiple cloud from no matter Amazon Cloud or Google Cloud. Another database mirroring is to create a replication of an entire databases in OneLake so that you can seamlessly further consume and analyze your data through the multiple approach in Fabric. So in the next slide, you're gonna see either of these two approach, you can seamlessly get data from those connector which has been GA, including your SQL DB, Snowflake, Google Cloud Storage, Amazon S3, and more. You can also see more connector in public preview, including the Azure Cosmos DB, SQL MI, Azure PostgreSQL, and the Database catalog. So we are also excited to share after you can click the um, the deck. You can see there are two new connector has been added. Database mirror for SQL Server, including both the previous version of the SQL Server and the SQL Server 2025. And we also now support a new shortcut connector for Azure Blob Storage. So in terms of the connector, which is coming soon, it's gonna including database mirroring for Oracle DB and Google BigQuery. So they are now actually in the private preview. Let's go to the next slide. We're gonna talk about the another top ask from our customer is that how we can let database mirroring to mirror a database behind a firewall or within a private or virtual networks. Now, as Emily just mentioned before that, together with all the other artifacts within Data Factory, you can also now, through the on-premise data gateway or VNet gateway, which allow you to monitor database securely from Snowflake, Azure SQL DB, and SQL MI, no matter they are on-premise, they're across multiple cloud, or behind the firewall, or within the private networks. For the next page, we're going to show you another demo to show database mirror for Oracle database, which is currently under the private preview.
Directly from my Fabric homepage, I'll go ahead and create a new item. Just as how other mirroring sources are displayed, you will now see a tile from Mirroring for Oracle show up here as well. I'll go ahead and click on it, and immediately I'll be able to either create a new connection or use an existing one. I'll create a new one. And here you'll see that I have a field to select my on-premises data gateway. I'll go ahead and select my on-premises data gateway and proceed. After a few seconds, you'll see all the tables inside my Oracle database. By default, all tables are selected, but you can choose specific ones if needed. I'll go ahead and filter my data and bring in 5 tables, and you can see a preview of the first few rows on the right-hand side. After giving my destination database a name, we'll start the replication process with a single click, and that's it. The initial snapshot may take some time, but within minutes, the Monitor tab shows a replication in progress. After refreshing, we can see all tables successfully replicated along with the details like row count, replication status, and completion timestamps. If I navigate to my SQL Analytics endpoint, I can go ahead and verify that all my data has been replicated over. If I click on the tables, customer, I can see a preview of the rows here. Now, we constantly have change data such as inserts, updates, and deletes occurring on my Oracle tables, and we want to see them propagated over into Fabric. I'll go to my Oracle database and insert 5 rows to my customers table. After running the commands and verifying that they have been added, I'll go back to Fabric and verify the changes have been replicated over. If I go back to my SQL Analytics endpoint, I can see that those rows went from 103 to 108, confirming that the rows have been replicated over.
Yeah, thank you for watching the demo. So next, I'm going to show you another exciting new feature we want to talk about today is that database mirroring in Fabric now support data change feed. What that means is that you can now not only mirror your databases into Fabric OneLake, but also allow the downstream processing to track and consume the data changes history you have made on your databases in a medallion architecture from the OneLake. Now, next, let's go through a quick demo to show you what is the database mirroring for in Fabric to support data change feed and how to use that.
So what if we want to track the exact changes to our data, whether rows were inserted, updated, or deleted? We're thrilled to announce that mirroring now publishes Delta change feeds, giving you full visibility into every modification. This unlocks seamless integration with the medallion architecture, allowing you to process only the changes you need while filtering out the rest. With notebooks, you can see what changes have been made with your mirror. The first command shows a snapshot of the data, which were the initial rows that we replicated over. And in the output, it shows these rows were inserted, with the column showing what type of operation was done. In this case, an insert. Now, the second command shows the new incremental changes, which were the 5 rows that we changed. You can see in the output tab that we did 2 inserts, 2 updates, and 1 delete. And in the table, you can see which row ID was affected, making it easier to see what change happened within your data.
Yeah, thank you for watching the demo. So next, I'm gonna talk about the AI-powered intelligence. So we know that is to empower you to do data integration tasks in a more productive way. In the next slide, the first excitement I want to show you is that now the Copilot for Data Factory, including both pipeline and the Dataflow Gen 2, has been GA. So we hope this will be closely working with you side by side to make you be more productive and help you to be more successful when creating your data integration solution. As part of the Copilot for Data Factory, the next slide is talking about the Error Assistant, which allow you to quickly identify the issue and get actionable recommendations. When your pipeline or data flow fails, this feature will help you to clearly understand, hey, what the error message means, and provide a contextual troubleshooting assistant with suggestion on the next step for resolving the issue in pipeline or data flow. So for the next, let's go through a demo to show you more about how it works for you.
After creating a new pipeline, I can quickly launch Copilot and provide a natural language description of the task I wish to achieve. For this task, I'll select a NoSQL data source in Cosmos DB and Bronze Lakehouse as the destination. Through IntelliSense, Copilot automatically identifies the metadata and enables easy selection of existing connections or creation of new ones. I can also instruct Copilot to send an email to me in case the pipeline run fails. And just like that, we have a fully functional data pipeline created in seconds. We can preview the data to validate the data source. Now, let's use contextual prompt in the Copilot pane to run the pipeline. And once again, in just a few seconds, the pipeline has successfully completed the run, and I can see that in the monitoring tab. Let's quickly validate that the data has indeed landed in my destination lakehouse, and there it is. Copilot enhances not only pipeline orchestration, but also monitoring capabilities. Using Copilot's error assistant, I can understand the issues more clearly, and Copilot explains errors and provides contextual troubleshooting assistance. Here is a pipeline that has failed, and an icon appears next to the fail activity. Clicking this icon opens a window where Copilot displays a quick summary of the issues, along with the guidance on how to fix it, making troubleshooting easier. In this case, Copilot explains the issue was with the user access token and then provides a link to additional documentation for further assistance, which is extremely useful in collaborative scenarios involving complex data pipelines. Copilot's Error Assistant helps you quickly identify and resolve issues with actionable recommendations.
Yeah. So thanks for watching the demo. So this is the last topic we want to share. We are continually hearing your voice clearly and loudly that after you getting a data from any source through Dataflow Gen 2, and complete the data transformation, now you want to land the result to the SharePoint. So previously you cannot do that, but now you're allowed to do so through the Dataflow Gen to write a data transformation result to the SharePoint file into a CSV format with more possibility for further analysis and reporting. Let's take a look at the demo.
Let's see how we can set the default data destination for a data flow to SharePoint. Here in my data flow, I can either select default data destination from the ribbon or configure it directly in my query. After selecting the icon, SharePoint now appears as an option alongside our other destinations. I'll click into it, provide the SharePoint site URL, authenticate the connection, and proceed. The file name is automatically set, and on the left, you'll see all the available folders to store my data. I'll select my sales folder, hit next, and keep the default column mapping. And just like that, my default destination is now set to SharePoint. I can confirm this in my query and at the bottom right-hand side. Now, let's hit save and run. And after a few seconds, I can navigate to my SharePoint folder where my data has successfully landed. Adding SharePoint as a default destination opens up even more possibilities for further analysis and reporting.
Yeah, thank you for watching the demo. So I think that is all we want to share for today with a lot of production innovation in Fabric Data Factory, including what's new as well as a glance into a roadmap ahead. We are looking forward to working with you, listening to your feedback, and more importantly is working with you very closely on evolving what is possible with Fabric Data Factory. And at last, I want to thank you all for your time to listening to this live stream and looking forward to meeting you again in our next live stream sessions. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you guys for such a fantastic session. Sorry, I do have a couple questions in the chat. If you guys would be more than happy to answer them, I think you guys are experts. So we have one question from, I will pop it in here, Bashti. And Bashti is asking if it would be possible to create nested loops. Do you guys have any information about that?
Yeah, well, you will take that question.
Yeah, so today I know you must know we have a for each loop activity in the pipeline where within the loop you can loop everything you want. So, but for sure, if you say you want to invoke another pipeline in the for each loop, it also works. So I don't think we need you always need to, require create a new pipeline within the for each loop, because now we just mentioned now within a single pipeline, we have already support more about 120 activity in single pipeline. We should be big enough for you to create a many activity for you. But it's if you do want to, using a new pipeline to make it more clear, it's also good. So yeah, I think that if you see it's not good enough, feel free to, give a concrete example in the Microsoft idea or whatever the forum. Yeah, we can further take a look.
Thank you for the answer. And I believe we are right on time, so I will be wrapping up the session. But like our fantastic speakers mentioned, we do have more sessions coming up in the next couple of months. So just feel free to visit the Microsoft Reactor website where you will be able to find the sessions and register for them. We are looking forward to joining us throughout the entire month. I think we have very informative and interesting sessions coming up. So please go ahead and visit the Microsoft Reactor session. Additionally, we also have a Discord community and a GitHub discussion board. If you guys want to scan the QR codes on the screen and join the communities, they're all about Microsoft AI, and we want to hear from you guys. So the QR codes are right here. And once again, I just want to thank the speakers for this fantastic session. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Yeshu, for this. And for now, I will be wrapping up the session. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Isabel, and thank
Thank
you
you.
everyone for watching. Goodbye.